if you dare.
Allan Beswick, the late night show.
And the telephone number, if you wish to join us, is Preston 561,000. It's 9 minutes to 11, and we're about to take our first phonetically tone call. I'm in a good mood tonight. I hope nobody comes on and spoils it for me.
301, medium wave.
Between Jehovah's Witness, life insurance and double glazing, they are all the same to me. They want putting in a big truck and shoving down a hole.
Dear, dear Alan.
Well, I'm sorry, but I can't see the joy. If you're telling me they're different, don't feel sorry for me. I've got double glazing. I can at least get rid of 1/3 of the prats. I
Do
can
you
say,
go
look,
to church, Alan?
no, I don't. And if I did, I wouldn't go in order to encourage others to let babies die. Suffer little children to come under me.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not a Jehovah's Witness. I can't discuss this with you.
Fine, well, let's get someone that can then. If you can't, I don't know why you're right. I'm sorry, if you can't discuss it with me, fine. Thanks for calling, goodbye, and let's get someone that can. The telephone number, if there is somebody out there that can, perhaps you haven't got the bottle because you're not stood on the doorstep with me Willie out, stood in the rain. The answer is ring me now on Preston 561,000. If you've got the bottle. I don't expect too many calls. How do line 6? Tricia. Hello, Tricia. Come on, you dizzy cow. I haven't got all night. Never mind, we'll talk to Karen. How do, Karen?
Hello?
Yeah?
I'd like to talk about men's magazines, please.
Men's magazines?
Yeah.
Go on.
Do you think they should be allowed?
Well, men's magazines should be allowed. What do you mean by men's magazines?
Oh, the pictures of nude women and all that.
Why not? Why shouldn't it be allowed? I haven't given an opinion yet. Why shouldn't it be allowed?
Because I just don't think they should, because it's disgusting.
Well, it's not disgusting those that buy them, and no one is requiring you to buy them. They're not made compulsory, are they?
No, but they shouldn't be on display, like, to everyone in the newsagents.
Well, I'm prepared to agree with that they shouldn't be on automatic display. There should be perhaps an area set aside just for those. But notwithstanding that, there are a number of things on the front of other magazines that are offensive. The front cover of Private Eye is offensive to an awful lot of people. They have a different cartoon on the front of Private Eye, and that offends people. We can't eliminate offence. If you are going to shop in a public place, we can't eliminate the fact that something may offend you in that public place. Indeed, this programme offends some people.
Well,
Look, no one is suggesting that you have to buy them. No one is suggesting that you have to look at them. No one is suggesting anything like that. All they're saying is they're up there on the shelf, and the crazy blokes that get their rocks off looking at pictures when there's real flesh wandering about, but the guys that get their rocks off looking at mucky pictures, what harm's it doing?
Well, the people who pose for him and that are getting paid all this money. And
well, they're not upset by it, are they?
no, but there's a lot of people who are.
Well, they're not posing for him.
No.
If somebody said to me, here's £1,000, let us take a picture of your Willie, I'd give them change. They deserve change and all, I tell you, pound for pound, they're getting not so much, but it doesn't matter, does it?
No. Anyway, thanks a lot.
Okay, ta-ra.
Jeff. Hello, Alan. I wonder if you can help me. What it is, we're doing a thing for scanner appeal at Blackpool, and we need a bus. Hello?
I don't have a bus.
You don't have a bus? Well, what it was, I was talking to the people at the roadshow, Red Rose Roadshow the other day, and they said get in touch with the office.
Well, I'm not the office, so why are you ringing me?
Well, I don't know the number to get in touch with the office.
I'll look it up in Yellow Pages, ask directory enquiries, or look in the telephone book.
There's no idea where I might get my hands on a bus to be able to do a roadshow on the promenade.
In a word, no, I have no idea.
Do you think Red Rose Radio will be willing to help?
I have no idea. It's not for me to say. That's a matter you will have to address to the office. That is why the people on the roadshow at the time suggested that you do address your question to the office.
Thank you very much. I'll phone the office. Thanks.
Phone the office. What an incredibly good idea. I don't know how you came to it. How do, Ian?
Hello, Alan.
Yes.
I rang up some radio station tonight at 10:15. Can I name it?
feel it's free. I don't care.
It's Piccadilly,
Yeah.
and you obviously know the DJ.
No.
10:15
No.
tonight.
No.
Jim Reeves,
Fine. Now you're telling me. I didn't know. Now I'm aware.
didn't you know?
I don't know what time his programme
Oh.
starts. I've never listened to it. I don't see why someone who does the best programme should listen to the person attempting to do the second best.
No, but I rang him up, right?
I don't know whether it's right or not. You tell me. I listen for the time being.
I rang him up, and he got my number and my name and everything, but he didn't ring me back.
Well, he's obviously very wise. One wonders why we did. How do, Brian?
I do, Alan. If you ever talk about something sensible...
I have no idea what you want to have a talk about, or indeed whether we should.
All right, well, we will then.
We may.
All right, we might. As we've had some sensible conversations this week...
Can we get to the point?
Oh, to get to the point, lad. Right. Channel Tunnel. Rabies. No one said nothing how they're going to stop rabies coming into England.
Will you tell me how it's going to get into England via the Channel Tunnel?
Vermin.
What vermin?
Well, it's a dry tunnel, isn't it?
One would expect so. It'd be a bit worrying if it's not.
The average fox on a night running around can cover up to 45 mile.
Yes.
And there's what, 24, 25 mile tunnel.
Yes.
Wouldn't take a fox too long to find out there's a hole, I'll go down that and boom.
Yes, but the fox generally requires some kind of objective, some desire to reach the other end, and it's not likely to really just run into the tunnel and think, oh, another 25 miles of this and I can have a quick bite of an English chicken and then run back again. Although it covers that mileage, it doesn't travel that far away from its den, from its lair.
But rats do.
Why did you start with foxes then?
Well, just giving an example of
Yes,
vermin.
I
What
fully
would
accept.
you know?
Well, rats don't travel 25 miles looking for food.
Oh, they can go thousands of miles
Yes,
looking
we're
for
not
food.
contemplating what they can do. I feel certain that a rat, surrounded by food, is not likely to embark upon a 25-mile trek in order to find something to eat. It'll go in the other direction where it may only be 5 yards away.
Most nocturnal vermin will go for darkness for safety, won't they?
They will go into the darkness for safety to hide, but not if that darkness is full of horrible noises, as the tunnel is likely to be.
Well, I had the...
You seem to be goosed in each corner.
No, I'm not goosed in each corner.
You have been so far. You've put 3 theories forward. They've all been destroyed. Ring me back when you find a 4th. How do, Julian?
Hello, Alan. I wonder if I could talk about 3 things, please.
I also wonder. How do, Julian?
Hello, Alan. Would you help me, please?
Yeah.
I came home today and this cheque, the dog had ripped the cheque up for £45 10p. And,
Is that how much you paid the dog to do it?
No. no,
That's
I
what it
came home.
sounds like. The dog ripped a check up for 45. OK, dog, rip that up and I'll give you 45 quid. No, that's not enough. OK, 45 quid and 10 pence. OK. Don't be a prat.
Could you tell me how I could go about getting me money, please?
Yeah, wait for it to crap. How do, Sheila?
Hello, Alan. You're right.
Usually.
I think I'd just like to talk about, you've had a few calls this week about these salesmen that come at your door.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to maybe stick up for them a little bit. I've no connection with any of them at all, but I do feel sometimes the public are really hard on them. I know they can
Why
be a
not? They
nuisance.
deserve it.
Pardon?
Why not? They deserve it.
Well, let's face it, today unemployment is at a high rate, and I think they're just trying to earn a bob or two.
Well, we know what they're trying to do.
Yeah, and sometimes I think their service can be valid, because I know a couple of people, elderly couple, and they don't get out a lot, and, you know, they did find the service of some value. They actually did buy the product. That is just one, you know. But what I'm trying to say is, they come to my door, and I usually find them very nice. And,
Well, of course they're nice. They're smarmy, two-faced, slimy people. Of course they're nice. If he comes up and says, buy me double glaze and I'll kick your face in, you're not going to buy it, are you?
no, but I think also...
So he's nice. It's in his interest to be nice.
I
That
think
doesn't
it's
go
the
for
way-
the fact that he's still a gangster.
I think it's the way you talk to them as well. I mean, I just say to them, well, I don't think you should waste your time. I've just got
Yeah,
no...
but the trouble is, Sheila, I don't want to be doubled with him. I don't want to answer the damn door. I
Yeah,
don't want the
I
slimy
do- yeah, I
slugs
do
knocking at me door.
I do understand that, but I don't find that, you know, terrible, and I just
Well,
sorry.
okay, you don't find it terrible, but I do. My life is far too important to be disturbed by snotty little slugs at me door.
Yeah.
So I don't want them pounding me door. Let them stand by the window if they like and wait for me to walk past, and when they do, I can pee on them. I cannot be doing with them.
Yeah, I do suppose you've got a good point, but so many people have knocked them this week. I thought I'd like to stick up for them a little bit and just
Well,
say...
that's fine. That sounds like someone that says, listen, you've had 15 people on your programme complaining about rapists. I'm coming on to defend them. If you're defending them just because they've been criticised a lot, then fine. It's a nice Christian motive. But they don't need defending. They don't want defending. They want damn well banning.
All right, and I've got my point over. And also about the people that say about these leaflets, I just put them straight in the bin.
Well, I do as well.
You know,
Unless what I sometimes do, the post office have got wise to this, which upsets me a bit. What I sometimes do is put return to sender.
That's
and then they have to pay twice.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or the other alternative, but it costs you an envelope, which is a bit of a bind, is get the leaflet, put it in an envelope, and then address it and send it off without a stamp on.
Without a stamp?
Because then you have to pay even more.
I see.
That's brilliant, you see.
I'll try
if everybody did that, they'd stop the day after.
I'll try and remember that.
All right. Gary.
Hello.
Yep.
I'd like to talk about the diabolical situation of where Ian Paisley can't enter the United States of America. A certain pop group entered this country not so many weeks ago and said what they did. Now, he is a reverend. He's a Reverend Ian Paisley.
Well, he's not a real reverend, is he? We can all start a religion and call ourselves reverend.
Well, he is officially a reverend.
Well, depends what you mean by official. He's been ordained in some obscure American church that gives out religious doctorates.
But you've made the point for me, so in that case, why can't he go and preach as a reverend who was given his reverendship in America?
And that's a matter for the American immigration authorities.
Well,
I think they would argue, I don't know, but I think they would argue because his rhetoric incites violence. I'm not saying that he sets out to, but his rhetoric does, and they don't wish to add to it.
But of course there's always the other argument of this and that is that Sinn Féin in America are allowed to exist.
Indeed they are, and they can't prevent American citizens from fostering their beliefs, providing their beliefs are not criminal in themselves, and they are not in America. However, whether you allow people in to help add to the spice of those beliefs is another matter. Just because you've got a wart doesn't mean you want another.
Ah, yes, but not
Your
everybody.
objective is to get rid of the filth, not to say, oh, well, we've got filth in our midst, we might as well have a bit more.
Yes, but you could show this film of Ian Paisley like they do, shouting and shouting all the time, and the majority of the time he's quiet and relaxed, just like Arthur Scargill is at home.
That may or may not be the case. I don't know Ian Paisley. However, I do know that he even shouts, rants and raves from his pulpit, and he raves anti-Catholicism from his pulpit.
Ah, now that's another point. What about this Sinn Féin person that said, and I quote, "the Pope and other strange people"? Do you remember him saying that on the news?
Well, that's irrelevant. You're talking about why he's not allowed into America. You're not asking me whether I agree with him.
No,
whether
but
I
you said he
agree
preaches anti-Catholicism.
Can we just establish, Gary, that we're discussing why he's not allowed in America? The reason he's not allowed in America is basically because the American government do not want him there. It's their country. They decide. They've decided, as far as they're concerned, he's not fit to enter America. And I would have difficulty arguing against their point of view.
Well, I still think it goes against their so-called religious freedom where he should be allowed to go.
Well, indeed, I'm sure it does, but they have the right to go against their own mores, have they not?
See,
Why should he be allowed into America?
Well,
What's his purpose for going? He's not going to ride round Disneyland, is he?
certainly not.
So what's he going for?
He's going to have a go at the rest of them that keep
Well,
having
tell
a
us
go.
what you mean.
Well, he would go to, say, Boston and say, now, this is America, this is free speech. And he would speak his mind to them, saying...
Well, you've got to tell us what you mean. He would speak his mind to him. What would he say?
Well, he would say that Northern Ireland is British, so you're just wasting your money and sending arms over there. So I'm appealing to you as a man of the cloth not to do it.
Well, he's not a man of the cloth. He's a man of some piece of paper doctorate from some obscure, unknown American religion. I can get one of them. He's never actually done the course.
Well, you couldn't get one because you're an atheist.
I could get one of those simply by writing off and getting the money. That wouldn't matter.
Well, he was ordained in public.
Well, all right, I can get ordained in public. That kind of ordination is available to those that are prepared to write the cheque, and your religious beliefs are immaterial. It's not a proper religion. He may well now have a proper religion. He's the head of it.
But so was the guy in charge of the Moonies. He was the head of that. Did it make it right?
Well, we're dealing with Ian Paisley, but I honestly believe that when he applies for his immigration and puts on Ian Paisley, the people that they just say, oh, Ian Paisley on the television, we decide that's it. I'm sure they couldn't put down on paper the reasons for why is a security
Well,
risk.
allow me to say to you, Gary, that A, they have no need to, because it's their country. The Americans decide who comes into their country, just like we decide who comes into ours. And we have banned people who in their own country is regarded as being quasi-acceptable. But we ban them just the same, because we say we don't want them in our country. The Americans said they don't want Paisley in their country, and quite honestly, I'd be happy if they didn't let him into England. But that's another story.
Well, so I suppose at the end of the day, it pleases you that he doesn't enter there, and it would please me if he did enter there, which certainly should.
It would please me if he entered there, providing he stayed
Okay.
and didn't come back. How do Stephen? Hello, Stephen.
Well, I'd just like to say how wrong I think the law is, where...
The what is?
The law.
The law, yes.
If you find a burglar in your own home, and you only have the power to restrain him until the police arrive there, I think you should be able to take the law into your own hands.
Well,
And deal
explain
with it.
what you mean, and do what to him, or her for that matter.
Well, whatever you think necessary. And
Well, tell me how far you should be allowed to go, because you presumably don't want people to have the right to kill them, do you?
Well, no, not go so far, like,
Okay, well, tell us how far.
but just to go as far as to teach them a lesson, if you like.
Well, tell us what you mean. Do you mean shout at them a lot?
Well, no, I think
No,
we
do
should
you- do you-
physically punish them, I think.
Well, physically punish them. Do you mean to beat them within an inch of their life?
No, I don't think you should go that far.
Do you think you should be allowed to belay them about the head with a blunt object?
No, I just think you should be able to do as you like.
Do as you like.
Yeah.
Well, you don't... Let's establish, first of all, Stephen, that you don't believe they should be allowed to do as they like. You want rules. You've already said you don't think they should be entitled to kill them.
No, I don't think you
Right,
should.
so if somebody says, well, what I'd like to do with them is kill them, you want to say, no, you can't do as you like, yes?
Yeah.
So we've got to have a line on it. We've got to know where we can go. Okay, you can't kill them. So providing they're still alive, you're perfectly happy, yes? Even if you've actually cut one of their legs off. You're still happy because they're still alive. Is that the case?
Yeah.
So you're happy to be ludicrous about it, you're happy for an individual to be able to say, okay, I've got you, knock them unconscious and chop their legs off.
Well, they shouldn't be in your house in the first place, should
Well,
they?
should we just deal with what we've got rather than the way you would prefer to deal with it? We know that you haven't the ability to discuss this intellectually, so we're doing it in stages for you. Now, do you believe that an owner of property should be entitled to knock a burglar unconscious and then cut off his legs?
No,
No. Should he be able to cut off his arms?
no,
Should he be able to cut off his hands?
no.
Should he be able to crack his skull severely?
No, I don't mean go that far.
Well, look, you see, when they're writing the law, in order to pacify your desires, Stephen, they've got to actually say, haven't they? They've got to say. They can't say you can do as you like, because then people would end up dead, and you don't want that.
But the burglar can hit you, but you can't hit the burglar.
Oh, hold it. Can we just establish what the rule is? You are entitled to use reasonable force. Now, that is a very difficult thing to assess in cold. But that's what you're entitled to do. If the burglar hits you, you are entitled to defend yourself. Indeed, if you believe the burglar is about to hit you, you are entitled to defend yourself. You are entitled to use reasonable force to restrain him until the arrival of the proper authorities. Now, can we get back to what you want changed?
So I think you should be able to do more than just restrain them.
Tell me what you mean.
I think you should be able to hit them or something.
Okay, so the burglar's in your house, you come downstairs, you've got a brick in your hand or you've got a hammer in your hand, and the burglar says, okay, Gov, it's a fair cop. And he sits down in the chair and says, I'll wait here for the police. What do you want to be able to do to him?
Well, he's not going to do that, is he?
You tell me what you would, because the only way we're going to get your brain in gear is to discuss it in an immature way. So, the burglar says it's a fair cop. What should you be entitled to do?
Well, he wouldn't have to do anything then.
I'm asking you
I'm
asking you what you should be entitled to do, not what you should do, not what you could do, what you'll be entitled to do.
I think you should be entitled to do with him what you want up to a certain point where you don't break any bones or...
What point? You don't break any bones, okay?
Yeah.
So we've established that
Or
you must...
kill him.
Or kill him. You mustn't kill him, you mustn't break his bones. So you can cut his face apart with a Stanley knife, give him 325 stitches all down his body. That's okay, because no bones are broken, yeah?
Yeah, because he shouldn't be there.
That's okay, is it? You agree with that?
Yeah.
You're perfectly happy with that?
Yeah.
No problems at all, you're never going to retract that?
No,
Ever?
I think that's the way it should be, I think.
Okay. So, you have an argument with a bloke in the street. You've just pulled out the local den of iniquity, and you've had a bit of a set to about football or something, and you think, I'm going to fix this fella. I'm really going to do for him. I've had enough of him. And you say, let's call it a day, Charlie. Let's not argue anymore. Come back our house, and we'll have a jar on it. So he says, all right. You get him in your house, you hit him over the head, you cut him to ribbons, you call the cops, you say, I've just found a burglar.
But they wouldn't happen like that, would it? You just wouldn't say that.
Sorry?
You just wouldn't say that.
That must be based on the belief that the whole of the world is honest, decent and honourable. The whole of the world is not honest, decent and honourable. That is why you want more power to deal with a burglar, because the world isn't honest, decent and honourable. It leaves the whole of the assault law at risk.
Manchester Tower, Britannia 338 Bravo, we're about 7 miles
You get in a fight, they beat 7 colours of the stuff out of you, and they think, oh God, I'm in trouble. So I drag him indoors and I say he was burgling.
Britannia 338 Bravo.
But it's very rare I think that would happen. But
You have a lot to learn if that's what you think.
If a burglar was in your house and you come down and you seen him and you caught him, and he was struggling and he was hitting you, and God knows what child is here, you were telling me that you would just hold him while you tried to ring the police.
Trevor, you won't believe it. Actually, your name's Stephen. You won't believe this, Stephen. But if I found a burglar in my house, I would say, take what you want, do us no harm, and leave.
Oh, come on,
no problem.
Never
everything in my house, everything. If a burglar wants to take it, let him. Let the insurance companies worry about that. I'm not going to risk violence just to save my video, or my television, or my wallet, or anything else. I've not found a piece of property yet, a tangible piece of property that was worth assaulting or getting assaulted for. Televisions, they're coming out of Japan by the boatload. There's millions of the damn things, but I've only got one face. Now, there are those that are saying it's one too many, but sadly, I have only got the one.
Well, I'm the type of person who wouldn't allow any burglar in my house.
Well, Stephen, all I can say to that is...
338 Bravo, stay the line.
You don't get burgled, because quite honestly, if you haven't got the wit to realise that insurance is better than assault, then you're a brainless cretin. Good night. How do, Andy?
Hi, Alan. I'd like to talk to you about cricket, pal. I think the 5-day match, the test match, should be done away with.
Why?
For the sole reason that the first 4 days, or first 4.5 days, are so yawning, it should be scrapped. What do you think?
I think you should be in some kind of home.
Why?
Because you're talking gibberish.
Because at least 8 out of 10 finish a draw. A boring old draw.
How many of the last 10 test matches... Listen. How many of the last 10 test matches involving England have ended in a draw?
Well...
How many? I'm sorry, you quoted a statistic. I'm giving you the opportunity to support it. How many of the last 10 test matches ended up as a draw? The word 3 springs to mind. Good night, cretin. Go and count. How do, Anthony? Whoops. How do, Anthony?
Alright, Alan.
Yes, I'm
I
all
got
right.
a vessel tonight, you know.
You got a what?
I vested.
Fine. What for?
For nothing. I was just coming out of my mate's house, you know, and this policeman come over and vested me for nothing.
And?
And just charged me for nothing. Charged me a loitering.
Oh, he's charged you with loitering.
Yeah.
He's not charged you for nothing. He's not said, you are arrested for nothing, come with me.
Yeah.
So you are arrested for alleged loitering.
Well, why? I was just coming from my mate's house.
Well, I don't know why. I rather think you ought to address that question to the police when you get such an opportunity to do so, which I suggest would be at the magistrate's court. And I suggest also that you get a lawyer to do that for you.
That sounds a bit stupid, really, I think.
Well, it may well sound stupid, but I still think it would be a good idea if you got a lawyer.
Alan?
Yes?
What if you got arrested when you're coming out Red Rose?
and you got arrested.
I'd get a lawyer.
You get a lawyer?
Yeah, I'd do what I've just told you to do, get a lawyer.
There's no point really, is there?
Okay, go to jail. Please yourself. You could have had a lawyer, but go to jail instead. Howdy, John.
Alan?
Yes?
Well, we was on before. I'd just like to say that I think dogs are intelligent.
What makes you think that?
Well, we've got a dog and she's intelligent, our Shandy.
What does she do that you consider to be intelligent?
Well, like, we play ball with her, you know.
What do you mean you play ball with her? Explain.
Well, we throw ball and she runs and gets it and brings it
If I
back.
threw the ball for you, would you go and get it and bring it back?
If we're a dog, I suppose so, yeah.
You're not a dog. Would you now, as a normal, I use the term in its loosest sense, human being?
No.
You wouldn't. Why?
Because it's just not the sort of thing that humans do, is it?
Why don't humans do it?
Well, it's just the same like dogs don't smoke.
No, sure they don't. Why don't humans do it?
Because it's not right.
Why isn't it right?
Because it's not the thing that humans do.
I'm asking you why.
Well,
Might I suggest to you that the reason that humans don't do it is because it's a totally futile exercise? Is it a totally futile exercise?
For a human, yeah.
Is it a totally futile exercise? It either is or it isn't. No matter who does it, the exercise is either futile or not.
Yeah.
It is futile.
Yeah.
So dogs, on your instructions, perform futile exercises. Your dog's stupid. Hello, Laura.
I'd like to talk about hanging.
Go on then.
Well, I think it shouldn't be brought back at all.
Why not?
Well, there's no reason for it to be brought back.
Yeah, there is. The crime figures are scandalously increasing.
Yeah, but it won't deter them.
Might deter some.
Well, why? Look at the Moose murders. Hanging was in then and it didn't deter them.
I didn't say it deter them all. I said it deter some.
Yeah, well, if they're stupid enough, it'll deter them, but...
Well, one would argue that you've got to be fairly stupid to commit murder in the first place.
True. Well...
So do you think it'll deter the stupid ones?
It might do.
Well, in that case, it's worth it, isn't it?
More, because... Well... What happens if you say that they're guilty and then find out that they're innocent and they're dead?
Well, there's not much you can do about it, to be honest. You can give them a posthumous pardon, which is not worth a great deal, but we have to consider whether we've got faith in our judicial system or not. If we have no faith in the system, if we have to always have a long stop, then we need to examine the system. If we have faith in the system, then we have to accept the consequences of that faith.
I know, but I don't think...
Well, let's say you put them in prison for 10 years, and then you find out they're not guilty and you let them out.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
you can't give them that 10 years back.
Well, it's wasted 10 years of their life, but it's worse if you...
Well, it's wasted a lot more than 10 years of their life. There are very few murderers who go to serve a long sentence, whose families wait for them when they come out, who have their job when they come out, who return to the status that they had before they went in. In fact, their life is in ruins. They come out to a life of, well, basically, to a life of pauperism, a life of being poor. They might have gone in there with a nice house, nice family and all the rest of it. They come out and they're nobody, living on their own in some poky little bedsit, living on Social Security.
I know, but if...
With a chip on their shoulder, a very deservedly chip on their shoulder, as big as St Paul's Cathedral.
But if you find out that they're innocent early enough, it's not ruined too much of their life, as if you've...
Well, first of all, the decision ruins their life. There's a guy called Fellows, I can't remember his first name, unfortunately. He was convicted of manslaughter, not murder, and it's now been shown categorically that he was not guilty. But that guy, I read his book, it was a very interesting book, and he's turned out to be a very decent human being. But he's the rarity. He's almost unique. Most of them come out very bitter and very twisted.
Yeah, but it showed on telly once that a bloke, they tried to... Well, they thought he was guilty and sent him to prison, and he was... I think he was prisoned for 8 years or something, and then found out he was innocent, because a woman actually turned around and said that she'd lied in court, and they gave him... Well, they gave him some money to...
Yes, but since then, that woman, if it's the case we're talking about, was the woman living in America at the time.
Yeah.
Rough Justice was the programme.
Yeah.
That woman's new evidence has been severely discredited. She was paid money to make the statement, and the two journalists that made the programme, the two BBC producers that made the programme, were suspended from their jobs as a result. So I don't think that's a very good case to quote.
Well, I still think that hanging shouldn't be brought back, because you've no real evidence that they did commit the murder.
Well, let us say, Laura, that there is not conclusive evidence.
Yeah, because, well, I don't think it's right. Why should...
Well, how about the person who is caught by 10 members of the public, red-handed, chopping the head off a baby?
Oh, that's different if they're caught red-handed. But
What should we do with them?
Well, they should serve a full life imprisonment.
Well, would you accept that there was no danger of them being convicted wrongly?
No, there's no evidence
So
of that.
given that the only reason you've put forward so far, the only reason, you may have others, but the only one you've put forward so far is that we might get it wrong. In a case such as that, we clearly will not get it wrong. Do you think that hanging should be brought back for a case such as that?
For a case such as that, yeah.
So you do actually approve of the death penalty. It is only the inherent risk, the inevitable risk of a wrong conviction that you're against.
Yeah, because...
So in those cases where we can definitely, categorically, without doubt, eliminate that risk, you're happy, not happy, but you are prepared to accept the death penalty's return.
For cases like such as
Just
that,
a yes
yeah.
or no will do.
Yeah.
Do you think that it should be returned for those cases?
For those cases, yeah.
So when you said you do not want the death penalty brought back, you meant you do, but with reservation.
Yeah, because...
Thanks for your call.
You have been Beswick.
I'll do Kay.
Yes, I'm sorry, it wasn't my wife. She phoned up for me. I was upstairs on the toilet.
I don't think I wish to know that, but never mind.
I'll do Stephen.
Hello, Tal.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about knitting.
I'll do Jason.
Hello, Alan.
We're not talking to no imbecilics. I'll do Peter.
Hello, Alan. I just rung off about there was a lad on a couple of minutes ago about car insurance, and he wanted to get it done through his mother and father.
Yes.
Yeah, well, if he went through his car insurance, he's going to like say he's going to get it done like cheaper through his mother and father, but it's not. It's estimated on the youngest driver.
Well, no, he will get it cheaper through his mother and father because they may well have access to a no-claims bonus.
Yeah, but
which he is not entitled to.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter about that. It goes by the youngest driver.
No, it doesn't.
It does. I've tried it before.
I don't really care what you've tried. You've obviously misdone it because it is definitely cheaper. Let us presume, for the purposes of this conversation, that I've suddenly acquired a 17-year-old son.
Yeah.
And my 17-year-old son decides he wants to drive a motor car.
Yeah.
So I say, well, all right, you can drive mine, but I'll have to notify the insurance company.
As a named driver?
As a named driver. Yeah. Are you now telling me that instead of paying what I would pay as a 38-year-old accident-free advanced motorist, that I would suddenly have to pay as a 17-year-old hooligan?
No, but you're sharing the car with your son, aren't you?
That would be the theory, yes.
That would be the theory. But if you go to an insurance company and you name your son as a driver, they'll say, how old is your son?
Yes.
And then they'll go by his age.
No, they will
once you're over 25...
No, listen. They will put a loading on the insurance, but that loading will not be as great, or will not render the overall cost as great, as if the son had insured the car in his name.
Yeah,
well, that's all he was trying to do, avoid the difference between the two.
Yeah, but if you had a 17-year-old son and you went into there and put him in fully comp with you, right?
Yes.
It costs more. Say you went in on your own.
It would cost more than if I didn't have the 17-year-old son. Of course it would.
Yeah,
but it would not cost as much as if the 17-year-old son insured it in his own right.
Okay, I was only just putting a point over.
Well, it wasn't a particularly intelligent or useful one. Never mind, we must fill our days somehow. Who's on line 6, Rob? Thank you, Rod. Not Rob, it's Rod. I'll do David.
I'll do Alan.
Yes.
Yes, I'd like to talk about Astral travelling. Alan?
Yes.
Well, Astral travelling, it's like a sort of meditation.
Is it?
Yes. When you meditate, you know, like, people meditate to, like, relax themselves.
Yes.
Yes. Well, this is like a step ahead. This is like, you're relaxed. Like, you block out everything. Like, you've got nothing, you just don't, any problems you've got, just block it all out.
Yes, I know the objective and the claimed success of meditation.
Yeah.
What are you now telling me?
Well, this is a thing I practice, astro travelling.
Well, why don't you come round now? Why don't you just do your astro travel and arrive in the studio now, and I'll talk to you face to face?
No, it's not like that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not. I know what. I've been listening to the radio and you've heard things like this. This is the proper way, this.
Yeah, well, tell me about it then, instead of waffling on.
Well, it's not... Right.
Tell me what happens when you allegedly astro travel.
Alright, well, you've got 3 inner cells.
Well, you may
You've
have.
got your soul. Well, you've got your soul. You've got your inner 4.
No, I don't want to hear all that garbage. I want to know what happens.
Well, you're in a state of meditation.
We've done that far 4 times. Will you tell me what happens?
Alright,
it's called astro travelling. Where'd you go?
Well, you can go anywhere.
Well, why don't you come here then?
I don't mean that. I mean...
Anywhere means anywhere in my book. Would you like to tell me what anywhere means in your language?
It's... You can see...
Well, tell me somewhere you can go. Tell me somewhere you've been.
I've seen... It's not somewhere I've been, like...
I asked you, where could you go? You said anywhere, so tell me somewhere you've been.
Well, you don't know where you go, because it's
well, it's a bit damn pointless then, isn't it? It's like getting on an airport.
I've spoken to someone.
Well, who've you spoken to?
A person in my past life.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, can you speak to someone in my past life?
No, because it's... you only can speak to someone who you know.
Well, alright, let's see if we know someone. Winston Churchill, we both heard of him.
Yeah.
Well, he must have been in your past life. He's affected your life. He probably helped you keep your life, or even get your life. So have a chat with him.
No, listen, no.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
So you've got to have met them.
And you could. I could have been him. I could have met him. But when I've been doing it, I haven't spoke to him.
You've not spoken to him yet. Well, keep your eye open for him and give him my regards when you see him, because he was in my past life as well. Is there any purpose to this?
Yeah.
Well, would you like to tell it me?
The purpose of it? Well, it depends how you...
Well, tell me your purpose. Tell me why you astro travel and avoid Winston Churchill.
Why do I? Why do I astro travel?
Yeah, I asked you that, yeah.
I astro travel because I want to find out what will happen to me when I die.
Well, how will you find that out? By asking people that have already done it?
Because the people I talk to, they've died.
Right, so you astro travel and you talk to people that have died. Now, when you've spoken to those people that have died, have you asked them what's going to happen to you when you die?
Yes.
What did they say?
Well, I spoke to...
What did they say?
Well, a woman...
What did they say?
It was a woman...
What did they say?
She said...
What did they say?
She said, I'm going to die. When I die...
You're going to die when you die? That was pretty profound, though, wasn't it?
When I die, I am going to... She told me first, don't be...
No, stop. Let me
wanted to know what
shut
you
up.
said.
Well, I did try to find out, but you kept prattling on, so we're going to do it on a question and answer basis now, because it's the only way you seem to be able to manage.
Yeah.
So when you astro travel, your objective is to find out what's going to happen to you when you die.
Yes.
This woman has told you what's going to happen to you when you die.
Yes.
What is it?
Right. First of all, I am going to go down a tunnel.
A tunnel?
Yes. Then there's going to be 2 turnings. And she said, whatever turning I take, it's up to me. Whatever turning I take, she said, that's where I'm going to go.
Well, she was obviously exceptionally profound, this woman. Whichever turning you take, you'll go. That's pretty good. Well, did she advise you as to which turning might be the best to take?
Any turning's the best way.
Well, they can't any be the best. There must be one that is in some way marginally, perhaps, superficially, perhaps, but there must be a difference between the two. Otherwise, there wouldn't much point having two, would there, really?
No, it's like, anyway's better, because...
Anyway's better than what?
Than here?
Well, yes, but no, I'm not on about comparison here, because you don't have a lot of choice. Even if you want to, you can't stop here forever.
No.
So when you're in your tunnel, there's 2 turnings, up, down, left, right, who knows, but there's 2. Did she give you any indication as to which might be the best for you?
No.
Why not?
Well, I think she wanted me to make my own mind up.
Well, yeah, but you can make your mind up when you go in the shop or you go in the public house. The man says, do you want mild or bitter? He doesn't say bitter's best or mild's best, because he don't give a monkey's cuss. He wants you to make your mind up, but he's got to tell you what's available.
Yeah.
You can't make your mind up if you don't know what's available. Well, in that case, left or right, we've decided, right? Well, let us assume you've chosen left. What does she say will happen to you when you choose left?
Well, that's all she said.
Oh, so she didn't give you any indication. She just said there was left and right.
No, not on this occasion, but she told me about my past life.
Well, we don't care about your past life. We're only bothered about this one.
All right.
When she went down her tunnel, because presumably that's what we all do, which way did she turn?
Well, she didn't go down any tunnel.
Did she not?
No, because she...
Has she always been dead?
No, she's not dead. She's
not dead?
already there.
Oh, so...
Well, we're not...
Well, hang on a minute. You said when you die, you're going to go down a tunnel.
Yeah.
You said you were talking to her because she was dead.
Yeah.
Well, when she died, did she not go down a tunnel?
Well, no, because she's not... She didn't die. She wasn't here.
Oh, she's never been here. She's not dead.
No, because she hasn't even died.
Why did you say she was dead?
No, I didn't.
Was that a slip of the tongue? It's a simple mistake to make. Doctors do it all the time. He's dead, bury him, and then a fella sits up, says, no, not stop messing about.
No.
It's a simple mistake. I understand. No, it's all right. I understand. We all make mistakes. Mine was coming in tonight. So, she wasn't dead.
Well, no, because she...
No, okay, that's all right. No, it's all right. No, I mean, that answers my question. That's why she... No, it's all right. Don't worry, I'm with you. That's why she hadn't been down the tunnel.
Yeah.
Did you talk to anyone when you were wandering about? Did you talk to anyone that was dead?
Yeah.
And when they died, did they go down the tunnel?
Yes.
Did you ask them about it?
Yes.
And which way did they turn?
Well, they didn't...
Left or right? Well, you asked. Did they say, I'm not telling you, it's a secret?
No, it was a different...
There must have been a Freemason. Go on.
No, it was a different... the different way they went, because...
Oh, they've changed the system. They've updated it. Because we've gone electronic, can't we?
No,
Is that right?
So I'll tell you what he said. It was a fella.
Well, his gender don't matter when you're dead, does it? Unless you happen to be necrophiliac, and then it gets boring after a couple of hours. Yeah?
Right. Well, this person said, when his eyes...
his eyes?
He died.
Oh, when he died? I'm
yeah.
sorry, when he died, yes. And he went into the tunnel.
He was in the tunnel, and he seen a light.
A light here?
A light at the end of it. And he was like...
It wasn't a train coming the other way, was it?
No.
No, that's all right.
He was floating down this tunnel.
Right.
He said, like...
Towards the light?
Towards the light, yes.
There were no turnings on his tunnel?
No, it was...
You want to have a word with that woman? Why are you getting corners?
I don't know. It's
a rip off it. How does she know this never been alive dead person?
She knows because...
Well, I'm asking you how, this never been alive dead person. How did she find out?
Well, she knows because...
Yeah, I'm asking you how she found out. You've told me she knows. I'm trying to find out how she found out. Who told her?
Because she told...
No, that's how you found out, her telling you.
She told me...
How did she find out?
Well, she just knows, doesn't she? Because it's her...
I don't know, you're telling me. I'm asking the questions. It's no good finishing off your statements with doesn't she. It don't mean a thing to me. I want to know how she knows. Who told her?
Well, she did... I don't know who told her.
Well, why didn't you ask? She could have been winding you up.
Well, she wasn't, though.
How do you know?
Because she told me...
Am I winding you up?
They don't know.
Am I winding you up?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm not winding you up, I'm telling you.
No, I'm not suggesting you are winding me up. It's me that's getting all the fun out of it. So this woman, what's dead, what's never been alive, didn't actually know or tell you where she got her information from.
No.
Did you meet the man who had the light at the end of the tunnel and was floating before or after you met the woman? It's a tough one, isn't it?
No, I was telling you, that was before I met the woman, actually.
So you met the bloke going down the tunnel with a light?
No, I didn't meet him in the tunnel.
No. You met the man who told you about the dying and the tunnel and the light.
Yeah.
And then sometime later, you met the woman who told you about the tunnel.
This was a week later, this one.
A week, okay, a week. Well, it's not long in Astral time, that is it. So a week later, presumably you'd been out of meditation and back in since then. Right. So a week later, you're having another Astral thingy. And you meet this woman. Hello, love, how you doing? I'm all right, smart. How long have you been here? I've been here all the time. I've never been alive, so I'm not dead, really. But you can tell him I'm dead when I'm on the wireless, because it'll be all right. What happens to me? Well, you go down a tunnel. How did she know? Because she's never been down, because she's never been dead. Down the tunnel. When you get down the tunnel, there's two turnings. Why didn't you say, why am I getting two turnings when the other fella got a light?
Why didn't you say...
I'd have asked. I'd have said, look, love, I'm sorry, but you're telling me I'm going down this tunnel, and there's going to be two turnings. But the other fella went down a tunnel, he got a light. Why am I getting two turnings? What's wrong with me?
There's nothing wrong with me. It's just...
there are a lot of people listeners who wouldn't agree with you right now. But why didn't you ask it? I mean, I would have done. I think any reasonably intelligent person would have. Oh, that's why you didn't ask, isn't it? Never mind, silly question, answer me on. So why didn't you say to her, look, the other fella I was talking to last week, he died, and he went down the tunnel, and he had a light at the end of his and was floating. I'm going down the tunnel, and you tell me I've got 2 turnings. Why?
Well,
how do they decide? Who decides whether you get a light or 2 turnings?
Well, it's just the way it is, isn't it?
Well, I don't know, you're asking me again.
Oh, sorry, it's just like, it's like a... it's just the way it goes, isn't it, I suppose?
I don't know, I was asking you. You see, a gentleman such as you, with the mental capacity to project his 3 bits, what you started to tell me about, the soul and all that crap, that man with that mental capacity, I would say, is by nature inquisitive. He wants to know.
Yeah.
So why didn't you ask?
Well, I didn't have time to ask.
You didn't have time? Why? How long do these meetings take place?
Well, you got.
How long?
How long was it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because you.
Well, how do you know you didn't have time then?
Because I just came out of it.
You came out of it?
Yeah. Because I've been doing it. I've only been doing it a couple of years.
Have you?
Yeah.
Every week?
Well.
Who else have you met?
I try and do it every day, actually.
Do you? Well, who else have you met?
I met quite a few people.
And did you not ask any of them? Next time you go. No, listen. Next time you go, first person you meet, say, "Hey, yo, why do I get turn-ins when he got lights?"
Yeah.
They'll know what you mean. Yeah. And when you find out, ring me back. Oh. How do Nicky?
Hello?
Yeah?
I'd like to talk about the Beastie Boys, please.
Go on.
Right, you know on Saturday, when all this rioting started, well, there was a girl, it's in the paper, that said that she got her nose broken by one of them. Well, if she was at the back, I didn't see how it could have reached, because I was at the back as well. And it was only the people at the front throwing the cans, so I don't see how it could have reached.
Oh, well, thank you for telling us that then, Nicky. We're all intrigued.